Hello, welcome back to my podcast. This is the new, no it's not, it's the No Excuses podcast, and my name is Anne. I live in Worcestershire with my husband Tom and our dog Bertie. This is episode 3, and I'm coming back to you a bit sooner than anticipated because I've got a couple of finished things and I thought I'd show them to you. Mainly this will be about knitting, and I have a little bit of cross stitch to show you because I keep mentioning it and not showing you. And hopefully I'm trying to sit back as far as I can this time because I look very washed out, and I don't think it was the jumper doing it to me. And the sun is a little bit further round now. It's gone over the top of the house, although it's still shining in the garden. It's a lovely spring looking day. It's actually quite cold outside. And the other thing I'm going to try and do is not to bob my head up and down as much, but that will mean I end up pushing my glasses back on my face. I am no professional. So let's say a big thank you to everybody again who's watched my podcast. It's quite scary putting yourself out there, but I like talking about knitting and other things I'm doing. And I like watching other people. So although it's taken me a long time to start talking to you, now I'm doing it, I'm really enjoying myself. And I keep having like little conversations in my head, and like, oh, I can put that on the podcast, I can put that on the podcast. Or talk about, So yeah, I've got some notes today, which I'm going to grab very at the corner of me. And, oh, it's got hankery on top of it. So I'm just going to make sure that I talk about everything I want to talk about today. And also that I can see the clock on my video, because last time it stopped and started again, which was very kind of it to stop and start. But of course it gave me a practice in editing, which I need. But I wasn't expecting it to come quite that soon. So yeah, I'm hoping I'm not too washed out. So I have a new email address called spaknitsandcrafts@gmail.com. I couldn't get sparknits.com, and I do wonder whether I took it myself some time ago, but I've got no evidence of that. So I'll put the link in the comments, in the description below the video, and the other places where you can find me as Sparknits, which is Instagram and Ravelry. And I will also try and remember to put everything I talk about today, because what I do, I watch the video and I make a note of everything I talk about, and I will put links to everything down there as well. So yeah, please. But again, yeah, just ask. Honestly, I want this to be really, really interactive. And I've had some super chats with people who've left comments, which is really kind of you. And it's good of you to talk. It's exactly what I want to do. So yes, it's Monday the 15th of February. Valentine's Day was yesterday, which gave me an excuse to eat things I shouldn't. But we won't talk about that. Today is another day. I've had my healthy porridge, and I've got a cup of tea here, which I will slurp, because I'm told I slurp my tea. I slurp from time to time because I'd rather drink it warmer than colder. I don't take milk in my tea. I did for many years, but I gave it up probably about 18 years ago. And yeah, I don't miss it. I found it far easier to give up in tea than coffee, to be honest. So with other people, it's the other way around. I drink very weak tea. I like it so you can still see the bottom of the cup, I'm a bit of a wuss, and I prefer black tea. I don't like green tea really, and I'll have the occasional fruit tea, flavoured tea, but I've yet to find one I really, really, really like. Waffle. Okay, what am I wearing? Well, this is, oh dear, there are some photographs, not very good ones on Ravelry, but this is my Irish cream jumper cardigan, and it is by Thea Coleman of Baby Cocktails, I knitted this in 2018, and it's lovely. It's knitted in Rowan Celtic Tweed in the duck egg colourway, a little bit of lace on the end of the cuff, and it's really warm. But so I enjoy wearing it, and it's cold outside today. Not that I'm going outside, but it's nice to have sort of a fairly lightweight but warm layer to put on. I think I should have put something a little bit brighter on as a t-shirt underneath, because you can't really see the lights. So I'm going to move forward slightly and then move back again. Excuse the chair clonking. But you can see, let me show you the lace a little bit better. It's the felted tweed makes it look a little bit more fuzzy, and I don't think it was probably the best choice for a lace cardigan, to be honest. But I like it, I wear it. Yeah, I enjoy it. It's interesting. It's got the front is a stocking stitch stocking stitch edge that you pick up and you just cast off, so it rolls at the edge, and so the button holds it in there. But look at these buttons. I don't know if I can catch the colour of them. See there, look, they're blue. Sorry, I lift my head like I said last time, because that's got the short distance with my varifocals, and then all you can see is the reflection of my glasses in the thing. Now these are from Mom. Mom's got, you know, not a button tin, she's got button tins, and we go through them. I'm very carefully acquiring them when I go to her house. She gave me some super shell buttons. I do like them, and they're very good at sometimes picking up the colour of the garment that you're wearing. I'll just go back a little bit so I improve the wishy-washiness of myself, or the lack of wishy-washiness. So yeah, really, really nice. It's yeah, it's a crew neck jumper. It doesn't sit very well, I find, if I leave it open. So I do tend to wear it closed. And it's raglan sleeves. It's plain on the back and on the arms, apart from that little bit of lace I showed you. The only thing I will say is that I like my lace to be mirrored, and this isn't mirrored, and it's probably because it's not that complex. But I thought, shall I do it? And I thought, no, just knit the pattern, because there's only a knitter's going to point that out to you, isn't it, really? And a lace knitter at that. So I've kept it as it is. Excuse me. I love Rowan felted tweed. It does pill a little bit, but not very much, because you know that's my my bête noire of knitting. And you get the sort of alpaca hairs sticking out and that, but I find it soft. I don't find it itchy, and I've got other bits and pieces of felted tweed in my stash. In fact, in Christmas 2019, so just over a year ago, I was given a sweater quantity of barn red felted tweed, which is a lovely, almost not quite a russet, but it's on the russet end of red, if you know what I mean, for Christmas from my mum and my sister. With I was going to knit the classic cardigan that Ysolda, is it Stockbridge? Or there's another one. Oh, I should have looked it up. And I haven't got around to doing that, because then I bought the liqueur, which that I showed you last time, that I knitted with the Super Soft to do the love note. But the liqueur sort of obliterated the colour a bit too much as the barn red goes with it. But I thought, no, I want the felted tweed to be a standalone yarn on its own, so I will be knitting that up at some point. It's like, because I like it so much, I can't decide on what to make from it, and we've all been there, haven't we? What is it? Decision paralysis. I have plenty of that, and that's why I've called the podcast No Excuses, because sometimes you just got to say, hold on a minute, if you really, really, really want to, you can always buy another quantity of the yarn and do another jumper in it, or another cardigan. So, you know, choose something you're going to wear and get on with it. As I look past here into the garden, my socks and one of my house jumpers, which is superwash, merino and nylon, hanging on the line. I've started putting my socks in the washing machine on the wall cycle, and you know, they're fine, absolutely fine. And it's just, you know, easier than me sitting there getting covered in water trying to wash them in the bathroom. Okay, so that's what I'm wearing, and I've waffled on now for nearly 11 minutes, and oh, my earrings, I don't think you can see those, but they're sort of toning with my cardigan, and they're aquamarines, and they were given to me by one of my oldest friends, Anna, for my wedding present, as something blue. Now I will say to you, when you say to me, Anne, what's your least favourite colour, I could say blue on some days, and yet I've got quite a bit of it in my wardrobe, and I got married in blue, well, like a duck egg blue. I quite like that tone on my skin. I think it, you know, it's quite nice and soft. Yeah, I got married in duck egg. That was, it's like 2.5 years ago, and she wanted to buy, when she heard I was getting married, but we didn't have very many guests here at all, because we couldn't find anywhere that would give us the sort of relaxed reception and the time that we wanted for the day. So we ended up, because it was the end of August, we ended up having it here in our garden with some help from family and friends. And what was the point of me telling you this? Yeah, so Anna said to me, I'd like to buy your bouquet. And I said, I can't have a bouquet because Tom is very allergic to pollen, flowers. He has terrible rhinitis, which is, I will say, he's actually suffering with now. You know, it's driving him up the wall, but there's not a lot you can do about it. So I suggested to her that she buy me some earrings instead, and she was more than happy to do so. And their aquamarines are very, very wearable colour, aren't they? Yeah, really pleased with those. I don't wear yellow gold. I've got all sort of white gold, silver preferably. So yeah, perfect. So that's what I'm wearing. Okay, I have got 2 finished items. I haven't got the one to hold up and show you because it's so big, and that was hubby's jumper that I was knitting last time. It's an old Serdar pattern which isn't on Ravelry. I've had a look. I think I had a look, and I knitted that in King Cole Chunky Tweed, which is mainly acrylic. It's 72% acrylic, and there's about 25% of wool in it, and then it's got these neps, quite brightly coloured, which he wasn't so keen on, so I spent a long time picking probably a third to half of them out. Now we'll put some photographs in here while I talk about it. That he put it on for me this morning, and it fits him really well, and it should do because it's the same pattern. I haven't blocked it, you know. I'm not a big blocking girl, to be honest, especially with acrylic. It's got slightly setting sleeves. They're not quite a drop shoulder, and that seam needs pressing really open. But what he wanted was, he wanted a wider neck, and I've done that. I only did it 4 stitches on the front and 4 stitches on the back, and that's perfect for him. And I did an I-cord edging of just a 2-stitch I-cord on the neck after a little bit of rib. And then he wanted pockets, and he wanted sidewards entry, you know, like kangaroo pocket. I did him a kangaroo pocket with a cable and twisted stitch pattern up the front. And it's a bit awkward sewing the kangaroo up because I should have done that before I sewed the whole jumper up. Fighting this great big thing in front of me, you know, trying to keep it on the table close enough to me while I was watching the rugby on Saturday afternoon. And anyway, I've done it all, and I've stitched the pocket in half from the back very carefully so it doesn't show through the front. And on the edges, I don't know why I'm pointing down as if I'm wearing it, on the edge of the, because you probably won't see me at the moment, so I should be putting the photograph here. on the edge of the pockets there's an I-cord finish as well, so it looks quite neat. And I'm pleased with it, and he's pleased with it, and it fits him, and he will wear it. Fingers crossed. So that was my first finish. I knitted that in 2 weeks, partly because I wanted to get it off the needles, and also it was an easy, quick knit as well. And it was done in pieces, so it was sewn up. And I do want to talk about seamless and seamed items at some point in a future podcast, because yeah, I do have preferences around that subject. And the second thing I finished is a test knit, and I'm told by the designer that I can show you on here, and there are a couple of photographs on my Ravelry page as well. And this is the Hummingbird. I think I might have showed you before, actually, a quick, maybe when I was knitting it. It's been blocked now, and this is the Hummingbird cowl by Kerry of Hummingbird Yarns. She may rename it to something else, I don't know, but while it was being tested, and it looks complicated, but actually, you know, it's quite a memorable. If you've done a bit of lace before, or even if you haven't, the pattern's well written and it's easy to follow. But I'm not a very good test knitter because I didn't do it properly. The pattern calls for you to do the cast on, and I did a German twisted cast on. It calls for you to start doing knitted together as an SSK straight off the cast on, and I couldn't get my hands to do that. It was almost hurting, and you know, as I've said before, I've got sort of limited movement in my hands, and I thought, oh, I can't do this for however many stitches are on here. So I took it upon myself, as you do, to put an edging on it. So I did a row of knit, a row of purl, and a row of knit, so that I ended up with a little bit of an edge there. You can't really see it, just and I wrote to Kerry and I said, I hope you don't mind me doing that. And she said, no, I don't mind, but it's supposed to be pointy at the end. You see, at the bottom, it's supposed to zigzag out. So I've blocked it. You can see there's a slight ripple there, but of course it would have been far more pronounced had I obeyed the pattern, which test knitters are supposed to do, aren't they? So the test knitting is supposed to end at the end of February. I've sent my details off to Kerry, so hopefully I'll hear back from her quite soon about that. So that's 2 things off the needles. Yay! It won't always be this quick, I tell you. So, what am I working on now? I've got the city limits that I showed you before in my first episode. I haven't changed colour again yet. So I will show you in the next episode, which hopefully will be a week to 10 days. I think I probably need to shorten the distance. Well, I've got a lot going on between episodes, so they don't end up being too long. And yeah, and that's my evening knitting. But for my daytime knitting, now I've got rid of Tom's jumper, I'm making a boxy. And I said last time that, you know, I've got friends now who are all turning 60 because they're all in the same school year as me, and I'm knitting my friend a boxy because I've made a couple of shawls and scarves and things, so I thought I'd do something different. And of course I've got the yarn, however I did end up buying most of it which seems counterproductive, doesn't it? But this is the boxy, and this is what I'm knitting, and you can see it's got a gorgeous amount of colouring. It's I've only just started it last night. I've done a garter edge because I just preferred that to doing rib on all these stitches, but and then I started with this 20 gram mini, what remains of the 20 gram mini from the Princess and the Pea sock set from Alison of Biffsugar Yarns, and I presume this is the P, and the Princess will be included later in the jumper. I wanted to do it slightly mild, but I don't want to introduce a load of colours, and I've got loads of ends that, you know, she might be able to throw this in the washing machine or hand knit it, but she lives a long way away from me, and I can't help her if things start undoing. Not that I'm expecting it to be undoing. So I want to introduce as few colours as possible into this. So I thought I might as well use up the whole 20 grams. So I've started doing helical knitting with this beauty, which is, oh, that's better, look. This is, blows out, Tutti Flora by the Textile Witch, and it's, oh, I love yarns. Why I have so many, you know, they've got lots and lots of colours in, and you see them on Etsy and you think, well, that looks nice, and you get it home, you think, wow. And of course, looking in the skein, it looked really nice, but now it's been caked, it's wonderful. Let me tell you, it has got in here different shades of green, like a dull sagey green, a fluorescent yellow and a duller yellow, orange, the tiny pops of red and grey, white, and pink and peach. It's beautiful. It's really, really pretty. So I will work on just that for a bit once the pea's finished, and then I will introduce the next colour, so that it's a bit like a fade, but yeah. So I'll sort of, you know, merge them into one another. There we go. But that gives me a bit of a dilemma, because that means the city limits that I've got in the lounge, that's my evening knitting, and I'll be frank with you, last couple of evenings I haven't touched it. And this are all knit stitches, you know, just knit, and I don't like that. I like my knitting to be a bit more interested in that. I know some people prefer the knit stitch, people hate purling. I don't mind purling. And I'm fine, and I could have done the seamed version of the Boxy because it's the first one that came out, but then I want the front to match the back, so I decided to do it in the round. So I might break my rule, and it's, you know, rules are there to be broken, aren't they, of having a third thing on the needles or doing a third craft. I do have things I need to do, so I might do some sewing, and I'm going to show you my cross stitch in a minute that I'm going to start again. But I've got to get the Boxy done before the city limits, really, because her birthday's on the 2nd of April. So I need to get a crack on with that if I'm going to do, you know, on an endless knit stitching, and then get it washed and blocked and posted and all that. Because we know, especially when you're my age, time flies by. So yeah, so I might have another craft to show you, possibly some sewing next time. Now I'm just going to turn my notes over. I'm being a very good girl this time, and I'm sticking to them. I've done the smallest size of the Boxy. Embarrassingly, maybe for both of us, I'm not sure, she measures about half of what I do. I shouldn't say that, should I? Did I say that out loud? And although she wants a baggy jumper that she can layer up, I looked at the schematic and I thought, because I've got 3 skeins and a few other bits and pieces I could put in, I really want to try and get it out of the 3 skeins. And my friend Penny, hello Penny, who I met via Ravelry, and I must tell you about that one day soon. She thinks she got, and looking on Ravelry as well, that the smallest size or the smallest couple of sizes you can sometimes get out of 3 skeins of yarn. And I weighed this Tutti Flora actually, and it did weigh 110 grams. So I've got plenty of meterage to play with. So fingers crossed that works. Keep my eye on the... In fact, I might stop it now and start the video again. So let's play some music, or let's pretend it's an old Doctor Who thing where the screen merges, and I'll have a go at that, and I'll be back before you even notice I've gone. Haha! Hopefully it worked. Hello, back again. Right, part 2. Now, So yeah, I need to find something else to knit on. My mum said to me the other day on WhatsApp, did I tell you, I've told you, didn't I, last time, that my mum knits all my socks. I don't know why I didn't have some tea when I stopped the camera. She wrote to me and said, I want a beanie because it's freezing cold outside. I drove up to see them on Thursday to take some shopping. And all I do is I pull up outside their house, they come down to me, and we talk through the window for about 10 minutes, and then I'd come home again. And we swap whatever we've got for each other. Mum gets some orders from Asda delivered, and we'd had one from Morrison's. So we sort of swap whatever, we've got from each other's shops and things. But she said, I'm going in after about 5 minutes. She said, I can't stand this, it's so cold. And, my mum's in her late 70s, and she normally doesn't feel the cold very well. Normally she's overheating like mad. It's my dad who has to wear all the layers in the house. She doesn't have the heating on too high. Yes, Mum, I just did say that about you. Anyway, she said, I want to knit a beanie. What about chunky? Thinking it would go quickly. And I said, I've got the ideal thing for you. And this is Nectarine by, who was that then? Becky and Marcus of Riverknits. Now this is a BFL DK weight, so held double it will work up to a chunky pattern because it's a nice, decent, weight double knitting. So what I'm going to do, I'll put the links down below. We're going to do the Squarshy hat by Elena Anderson. It's on Ravelry. It's free. It's a beanie which Mum will add some more rib to, and it's got a slip stitch pattern, so it's fairly simple. I had to order some 6.5mm DPNs because I've only got up to size 6, and my mum knits a bit tighter than I do. So I've got 4 skeins of this, which and I've kept it all up. I'm going to give it to her, which is not quite enough to make me a jumper, you see, as much as I'd love a jumper in this. I said to her, you can knit them. If you knit one on the prescribed needle, because she said I'd like to knit it tighter to make it more windproof, fair enough. But I've got a much bigger head than my mum. So I said, knit one, and it'll fit one of us, and then we can decide whether we need to go up or down a needle size to have the other one. So she's happy with that. And I said to her, if you don't want to knit them, I'll do them. But she said she wants to have a go. She's doing a lot of jigsaws at the moment. They go regularly for walks locally. They're very active couple, my mum and dad. But it's cold, you don't want to go out, you can't go out, choices, you can't mix with people. So it's nice to have lots of different things to do, isn't it, at home? So, and I've said before, my mum's an excellent seamstress, but she won't make anything for herself. Strange. So yeah, I've ordered needles, and then it said, oh, if you spend another £10, you get free postage. So rather than pay like £4 postage, I bought a skein of yarn, as you do. I bought something that might be able to go into the Boxy, but I think it's too dark, and I'd rather the dark was at the bottom, and I've already started it, so we'll see. Yeah. Now, what's next? Cross stitch. Many, 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 many years ago. I think before we moved here in 2009. I went to visit my family in North Wales. I've got an auntie and 2 cousins in North Wales, and I've got an auntie and uncle and a cousin. Oh no, he doesn't live there. In South Wales. It's from their family in South Wales, but we all come from Birmingham. So we went into a lovely shop in, think about it, man. Oh, sorry, turn my chair off. Bangor, or was it Carnarvon? Might have been Carnarvon actually. And she bought me this, which is a beautiful Celtic Cross pattern. It's by Cambriana Designs, and I'll put the link down below. They're still going, and I think it looks like they operate through a website called Rosemary's Walls or something similar to that. But I'll put the details below. And it's got lots and lots and lots of different colours in it, as you can see. And I don't do a lot of cross stitch. That means I don't do any cross stitch. And I started it last summer when I was sat outside, and that's the very centre. So it's going to be quite a big, it says it's 14 by 14, so it's going to be quite big. But I have a bit of a problem with it. Like I say, I'm no expert, but it says use 3 strands of cotton because it gives you a better colour. And I'm thinking, I don't want to do 3 strands of cotton. I'm finding it hard. Not hard to put stuff through because it's a 14 count aider, so it's, yeah, it's quite, you know what I mean. It's quite a big scale too, and it's the right scale to start off with, I think, with cross stitch. And that's taken me a few hours to do. But I've ordered the cottons I showed you last time because I want to start again. I've got my gridded aider and I'm going to do it with 2 strands because I feel that would work better. I've just noticed there's a colour there that I didn't buy, which is a mid pink, so I might have to try and get that. My mum's got some. She's got all sorts of stuff, you know. Yeah, and I think I'm going to have a go at doing it because I think my work will be neater if I just use the 2 strands. And this is not going to be a cushion cover, so it's not going to be for wearing. It's not going to have any wear on the surface. I'll frame it probably, or put it on the hangers, you know, something like that. Or if it's put on a cushion, it'll just sit somewhere. It won't be for cushion usage. Looks like I've got a hair hanging down. I can't see it. Too far away. Okay, and yeah. So I'm quite looking forward to starting that again soon. So what else? I was going to show you what I got in my Paper Gang subscription. I love stationery. I've got a box, a fairly decent sized box full of notebooks. And I was watching Keely on Voice of a Creative, and she mentioned the Paper Gang monthly subscription, and then I saw it advertised. It's weird, isn't it? If you watch videos, they're learning that if you watch a video and something's advertised underneath, I think I might have clicked on it actually, and then because it appears in my Instagram. But the first one you get is £14 a month. That includes delivery within the UK. I don't know, I think they post worldwide. It comes in a beautiful box, which of course I've thrown away now, because the things are still out. I thought I'll show you while they're still in front of me. And then, but your first one is half price. So for £7 last month, I got 3 pencils, a planner, and quite a decent planner as well, decent sized planner, and a pencil sharpener, double pencil sharpener, and something else which I can't quite remember. Anyway, and I thought that was good for £7. It, you know, it was decent quality. I'm quite pleased with that. This month's, it's got, the only thing I've put away, which I can't show you, is the wrapping paper. It gave you some quite good quality wrapping paper, which I can use on my friend's 60th. But it also gave you this beautiful notepad. It says notes. It looks backwards on here, whether it will be, and I think, but it's quite a decent size. You know, it's all very pretty, and it feels nice. They have a different designer every month, and they include a little leaflet about the designer, about the things they can do. And they also included origami, a little origami, but I used to be able to do origami now, and now I decided I can't, because it made me very ratty. But you also got a brass ruler, which is upside down. You can just about see the engraving on it there. Sorry about it flashing at you. A pen, a clicky pen, pink and gold, and some unusual looking scissors. And they are stainless steel gold coloured scissors with a plastic handle, which is quite comfortable. So yeah, I thought, great, you know, that's it. And I will put the paper gang, I don't, you know, there's no affiliation or anything. I'll put the link down below. Good quality stuff. And you don't know what, you can actually look, which is nice with the subs box, before you buy. So if you want to see what's in the upcoming box, and it's really what you want, and you're happy to pay the £14, you can, excuse me, you can look at the contents and then decide whether or not it's for you. So I cancelled my subscription because I've got too much stationery, said nobody ever, you know. So yes, I think that might be all I want to talk about today. I hope I've been a bit slower, but I won't know until I look back through this. Now, before I came on air, I had a look to see how my last podcast was doing, and I had 95 subscribers, which, and I know some people come on to YouTube and they go, sometimes because they're designers already and they're well known, but you know, I am absolutely blown away by this, and you know, I'm well, gobsmacked was not a very nice word, but you know, thank you. And when I get to 100, and it looks like I will, then I will be doing a giveaway. And the giveaway will consist of me making I'll make a bag, and I'll put some minis in it and some stationery. I'm not buying the stationery just to get rid of. You know. I buy little bits and pieces that go along, and I've got some really nice things that will make, you know, nice gifts for people. So yes, you'll have one of my wonky bags, and I'm happy to post that wherever, as long as you appreciate that if you win and you're somewhere in a far-flung place that's a long way from the middle of England and the Shires, then it might take a couple of weeks to get to you, because and there won't be customs because it'll be a gift, but I have no control once it leaves here, obviously. Yeah, so with that, I think I don't have anything else to say. The next time I talk to you, hopefully I will show you progress on both my jumpers, and I may have started my cross stitch, but I would definitely have done a little bit of sewing. And I want to design something to put in the shower next to me that holds all my bottles. And at the moment I've got a cotton, I call it a shower caddy. I've got an upright handrail, and which I don't use as a handrail, but I use it to hang things off, and it's got a carbon rod in the top of it to make it stiff, and it's about, I don't know, 18 inches wide, 16 inches wide, and it's got pockets in it, and Mum and I made it last year out of some strong cotton, and she'd previously made me out of waterproof material, but of course the cotton, even with the best one in the world, I forget to take it out. I don't want to take it out every time I have a shower, and it's starting to get a bit discoloured. It needs just get a good wash regularly, but cotton isn't the best thing for it to keep getting wet and dry and wet and dry. So I've bought some outdoor quality netting. I've bought some stiff netting and some more and some other netting that's got a bit of give in it. So I'll put stiff netting at the back and then do some pockets in the more flexible netting. And I've bought some, which is what's reminding me, I've got some polypropylene bias binding here off eBay, because cotton, I didn't want cotton, it's got to be nice, it's got to be something that won't rot. And I'm going to have a go at making myself a couple of shower caddies, so that I've always got one that can go in the wash, and I can chuck it in the wash once a week, and I've got 2 in rotation. But, and that sounds fantastic, doesn't it? But sewing on netting with my limited experience, really won't be worth videoing. It could take me days, but I am quite stubborn. So if I think about it carefully and I put the binding around everything to keep it secure, then I should be okay, because it should be, without the netting it would be a fairly simple make, but the netting just adds a little bit more sort of what stitch length to use, what type of stitch to use. So I'll have a go. The alternative is we've just got a new shower curtain, and I could have a go at making one out of the old shower curtain, but actually I could compromise and have shower curtain material at the back and then net pockets. So we'll see. And it's the sort of thing, not that I'm offering to do this, but it's the sort of thing that I'm surprised it isn't available to buy on Etsy, or people don't think about these things. Not that everybody's got a handrail in their shower, but, you know, not everybody wants a shelf in their shower for all different lotions and potions that people put on them. You know, sometimes have to put on them for medical reasons. So, yeah, I'm surprised that these things aren't for sale, really. But you'd still have to put somewhere to, you know, hang them off, really. I'm waffling now, so I'm going to go. The dog is moaning behind me because hubby is in the shed working on his model planes, because he flies model planes, which he has a licence for, but he's not allowed to do that at the moment, because even though it's an outdoor activity, lockdown has stopped them from doing that, even if they've got a big field and there's only 2 of them, which is a shame. But, you know, so he's making some progress on making himself a plane, putting one together, and the dog is moaning because I'll let him out, he'll go to the shed, and then he'll come back in again in about less than 5 minutes. You know, doggies, eh? He has a mind of his own, does our bird. Thank goodness. All right, you take care. Please subscribe if you like listening to me chat. And please, any comments, put them down below. I'm hoping I'm slightly less washed out this time, but the picture I see now isn't necessarily what I get up when I put it on the laptop. So fingers crossed, ladies and gents. Yeah, look forward to seeing you soon. You take care, look after yourself, stay safe, as everybody has to say these days. And yeah, talk to you very soon. Ta-da, bye.